This is the 5th and final film in the Stalked By My Doctor franchise. This is just what the doctor ordered. I'm Jay Harangue and I've wasted hours of my life watching terrible films.
You should subscribe.
This is Dr Albert Beck.
I'm a doctor.
If you've not seen any others, all you need to know is he's a heart surgeon, he's killed people, he's a massive sex pest, and he likes them young.
I'm a doctor. I'm a doctor.
At the end of the last film, he was put in a hospital for the criminally insane. But there was a fire at that hospital which allowed him to escape, and he's hiding in this empty house. But uh-oh, this woman Maggie and her teenage daughter Alex are moving in. Although we don't see Beck knocking one out in the attic, it's certainly implied. There's no dad in this family, by the way, because he recently died of a heart condition. And oh no, it looks like Alex is having heart problems too. While Alex sleeps, Dr. Beck likes to go into her room and watch her. He imagines her waking up, loving it, and wanting to be in a relationship with him, but that doesn't actually happen. The next morning, Alex's boyfriend Scott comes to pick her up for school. Obviously, Beck hates Scott.
Obviously.
As if he's the reason they're not together. That night, Maggie's gone to a real estate conference, so Alex is at home alone. But she starts having pains in her chest and collapses. Luckily, Dr. Beck is on hand, and he calls 911 from her phone.
I need an ambulance. I have a girl who's passed out. I don't know what's wrong with her. Please send somebody.
What is your name, sir?
Nope.
Yeah, he won't be leaving any details. He also deletes a call from the phone. Beck goes to the hospital she's taken to check on her, but he needs a disguise, so he dresses like a nurse. Here he overhears her doctor telling her mum about her condition.
Her condition?
Same cardiac degeneration as her father had. She's gonna need a heart transplant.
Yeah, and to make matters worse, Alex has a rare blood type, which means finding a donor is gonna be tough.
Oh my gosh.
Alex's doctor recommends they hire a nurse to look after her when she goes home.
I'll have the nurses leave a referral. An at-home nurse.
Yeah, I'm sure you can guess what's coming.
Yeah.
That night, while Alex is asleep, Dr. Beck goes into her room and starts talking about how fate has brought them together.
I'll even do the surgery myself.
Although we don't see Dr. Beck knocking one out in Alex's hospital room, it's certainly implied. On his way out, he finds the details of the at-home nurse who's been recommended.
Chris McCoy.
So it's over to Chris McCoy's house to steal her identity.
What are you doing in my house?
I'm here to take your place.
So she's dead, and Beck has her house, her phone, and this CPR dummy which comes in handy later.
Ew.
No, not like that.
Oh.
Well, a bit like that. Within seconds, he gets a call from Maggie about being Alex's nurse.
Yes, ma'am. Available.
Alex now has to sleep with all this medical equipment next to her bed. And the new nurse has arrived, Dr. Beck, a.k.a. Chris McCoy.
Hi.
You can call me Chris.
Maggie's like, oh, I wasn't expecting someone so old. And he's like, yeah, well, it just means I've got more experience. Maggie tells him that her company are currently renovating an old hospital on the outskirts of town that's been abandoned for years. I wonder if that's going to be relevant later. Alex explains that she's lucky to be alive, thanks to the stalker who called 911 when she collapsed.
Sounds more like you have a guardian angel watching over you.
Yeah, well, he would say that, wouldn't he?
Yes.
When Maggie leaves, Dr. Beck sets up Alex's heart app. Her pacemaker has a GPS so he can keep track of where she is at all times. He goes downstairs to prepare her meal when Scott walks in.
It's not a good time for a visitor.
She knows I'm coming.
Okay, then.
When they get upstairs, Beck fantasizes about killing Scott and Alex immediately falling in love with him. But no, that doesn't really happen.
You need to rest.
Just like an hour.
Okay, 1 hour.
Trust me, bro. I can get her anything she needs. Unlock her.
I'll go downstairs then?
Yeah, please do.
While he's downstairs, he takes Maggie's keys for the old abandoned hospital and goes out there.
This will do perfectly.
Back at home, Becca's dressed the CPR dummy in Alex's clothes.
Ew.
No, not like that.
Oh, come on.
Well, a bit like that. And he's going through a list of people who have the same blood type as Alex. The people on this list are alive, currently, but that's not a problem for Beck. One woman on this list has a dating profile, so Beck signs up and arranges a date with her. When he arrives to work the next day, Maggie is on her way out.
Alex will be down in a minute. She's just having a shower.
Yeah, he goes in, starts having a look and imagines her asking him to join her, but that doesn't actually happen. He actually falls asleep daydreaming on the sink and has to make a quick escape before she gets out. Later downstairs, Alex notices that Beck has received a text telling him how excited someone is to meet him. That'll be the woman whose heart he plans to steal. Literally.
Really?
Their joke, not mine.
Good.
Any news on your Good Samaritan?
No. I just wish I knew who it was so I could thank them.
Right, so it's safe to tell her that it was him.
Alex?
What? Scott.
Later that night, it's time for his date. And even though this woman is about 30 years younger than he is, she doesn't want to mess about. She's like, right, let's go back to your place and have sex immediately.
What a slut.
When they get back there, he's about to strangle her with his belt. But oh no, she's a police officer.
Detective, actually.
Luckily, Beck's beeper goes off, so Detective Matthews leaves. That's her name, by the way. His beeper was an alert. It turns out Alex has escaped her house with Scott to go to this party. The party looks rubbish, and they only speak to 2 other guests. The rest are non-speaking extras. But Beck is worried that her heart won't take all this excitement.
Yes, you want to dance? Yeah. Oh, you want to? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Then we see people doing the American college extra dance. Every time there's a high school or college party in a film, all the extras start doing this. Feet apart, hands in the air, a little bounce and push the ceiling. Are you an American who's seen this happening at a real party? Let me know in the comments. Thanks. Because to me it seems about as common as their celebratory whoop. Woo! And while that's really irritating, it's not as bad as when they shout, "That's what I'm talking about," when they're actually just agreeing with something that someone else is talking about.
That's what I'm talking about.
Ridiculous. Anyway, Beck has arrived at the party and sees Alex's heart rate going up, so he phones Maggie. Maggie then turns up at the party and she's like, right, we're going home. And Alex is like, oh my God, Mom, you're embarrassing me. But oh no, it looks like Alex is having heart problems.
Oh no!
Beck can see all this from his hiding place in these bushes, and he calls Maggie to tell her to calm her down, then agrees to meet them back at the house. When they get home, Alex tells everyone she's accepted she's gonna die, so she wants to have fun while she's still alive.
You are not going to die.
A heart's not coming.
Well, let's hope Beck can sort one out soon, because this whole my daughter's dying thing is really stressful for Maggie. The next day, to apologise for ratting her out last night, Beck's bought Alex a jewellery box to replace the one her dead dad bought her. Wow. Maggie has made a call to find out anything she can about the 911 call made from Alex's phone. Luckily, the woman she speaks to just so happens to be the dispatcher who took the original call.
Oh, I see.
And she tells her that it was an older man who sounded like he had medical knowledge. Meanwhile, Becca's gone back to his heart donor list, and the next target is this psychiatrist, so he books an appointment with him immediately.
Am I having dark thoughts? Very dark.
At the session,
These thoughts about harming yourself or harming others?
Definitely. But only when it's absolutely necessary.
the psychiatrist thinks he's got serious issues, but there's no time to get into that. So Beck smashes him over the head, shoves him in the boot of his car, and drives him over to the abandoned hospital, where Detective Matthews is parked outside. Why? No idea, but that's what's happening. When she drives off, the psychiatrist manages to escape from the car, so Beck chases him into the road.
You son of a...
Right, so that heart's no good now, so it's back to the drawing board. Back at home, Maggie has found a mental asylum uniform in the attic, so she Googles the name of the place, sees there was a fire, and that some of the inmates have escaped. The next day, while Maggie's off to do some more investigation, Beck hears Alex and Scott talking in Alex's room. Scott tells Alex that if anything ever happened to him, she could have his heart, because they're the same blood type. This is perfect. Beck can get rid of Scott and save Alex, so he prepares some sleepy tea for both of them. Scott drinks his first and passes out. Alex sees him on the floor and she's like, "Oh, Chris, you need to help him." And he's like, "No, I don't. I need his heart so I can save you again."
Yeah.
I was the one who found you that night. I called 911.
Yes, of course. Now things are beginning to make sense.
She hits him in the head with a trophy, but he doesn't seem to feel that, so he just waits for her to fall asleep too. Meanwhile, Maggie has gone to the police station to let them know about the orange jumpsuit she found in her attic. And oh, look, it's Detective Matthews. They start looking at mugshots of all the missing inmates.
What the
So now it's a mad rush to the abandoned hospital to get there before Beck has the chance to start the surgery. Maggie is told not to run in ahead, so she runs in ahead.
Alex! It's Mom! Mom! Mom!
So Beck's gonna have to go deal with her. While he's looking for her, Alex manages to free herself and Scott. But remember, Beck can track her pacemaker on this app. And oh no, Alex is having more heart problems.
Hey, looks like I saved you again.
But then out comes Maggie with a plastic tray. Somehow this hurts him a bit more than the trophy did earlier, but he's still fine.
She's dying. I can save her.
But Maggie's like, you'll have to kill me first. And he's like, oh, okay then. Then Detective Matthews appears and she's got a gun. But Beck's not really accepting the gravity of the situation.
Hi, sexy.
Somehow Beck manages to grab her gun, shoot her and escape, even though the whole place is crawling with police. Cut to the emergency room where Alex is getting Detective Matthews' heart. But oh no, look who the surgeon is.
Oh my goodness.
When Alex wakes up, the operation has been a complete success. She tells her mum and Scott that Beck was her surgeon, and they're like, oh, shut up, Alex. No, he wasn't. Then her doctor walks in and tells everyone that they found her surgeon unconscious in the men's room, and that he can't have performed the surgery.
He saved me just like he said he would.
Correctamundo.
Cut to Beck, who's hitching a ride to a new town. And that's the end of the film, and it seems the series.
Is that a fact?
It is, actually.
So until next time, thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe, and please consider joining my Patreon. There's a link in the description. Thank you.